show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me. My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
you are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster. Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Rumble, Tiki Live, Audible, Amazon Music, iTunes, TuneIn, Podchaser, Stitcher, and more. And why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. That's what this show's about. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words, no Kanye talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And I see eyeballs marching in. I am so grateful that I have the ability now to stream live on both of my Facebook channels as well as my YouTube. So if you want to watch and listen instead of just listen on all of those channels, as well as in your car on the way to work, you can actually click on YouTube, free subscribe, and chat along with me, or on Facebook. And you don't have to be a friend. You can just follow and get that interaction, because I want you to weigh in on all those things that I bring to your attention. And you know, I like to balance out all the bad news with some good news. So my topics and guests are to that end. You're going to have to put an alert on for tomorrow morning, because my wonderful live in studio guest is someone that we figured out that we probably met in another life, because it feels so comfortable and easy. And she's been such a support on my social media on Instagram ever since we met on the red carpet at St. Joseph's Center, who, little commercial, since it's Caller Commercial and Compliments Day, does a wonderful job helping homeless. And at that fundraiser with her father's Temptation, the group, Otis Williams is her dad, and got a backstage interview with the Temptations. Well, she is coming on my show tomorrow, so you're going to absolutely want to come. I can't remember if she dated Michael Jackson or Prince, but it was one of those two. And when I forced her to crash her son's interview, the wonderful Trace Austin, the music that passed over her generation, as she says, onto his grandson. That was a great interview too. So I asked her to come on and be my guest tomorrow. So I'm just giving you a little heads up. And at the end of the show, I'm giving away Asian Oprah giveaway tickets to Metal, a metal band that's playing tonight. I don't think I have any metal music fans, but hey, you never know. I try to never mind. It says that it's been postponed. Okay, never mind. I'm glad I looked it up. So anyways, please go to another commercial. The Where Music Meets the Soul, one of my show's sponsors, where I got the tickets to Don McLean to give away. And if you haven't seen my reels on my Facebook of their fabulous Don McLean. I saw Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog the day before. So bye bye Miss American Pie, and then my favorite, Starry Starry Night. So all those on my reels. And what else? Oh, we're starting now that I'm done with my commercials at the front. We're starting with breakfast. And Thursday's a great day for breakfast, because I always know that my fabulous sound engineer is going to come on and have breakfast with me, having a bite of my gratitude sandwich, which is my Happy 88 tool to get you to start the day in the most positive way. And 88% of the time, first thing in the morning, we do go through the gratitude exercise. One of my wonderful teachers who's now in heaven, Dr. Wayne Dyer, says if you start your day with 5 gratitudes, you will have an amazing day. I'm an overachiever. I say 8. So that's what we do. So without further ado, please welcome to my studio to have breakfast with me, Sam Works. All right, Sam. What are you grateful for? Say one name in particular. Tyler. All right. I'm grateful that the universe has a funny sense of humor, because one of the questions of the day are, what do you do, or why are we so irritated by little things? And to make sure I was in that mood, both of us messed up the opening this morning. And it was like, okay, I guess we are going to go into that topic with a good example. So, although I'm already over it, I love, okay, that's appreciation. Never mind. I'm grateful that I have the ability to broadcast from my living room in the morning. Thank you.
I am grateful for sunrises.
I am grateful that Noel Clayton Leon is watching today. She is a longtime supporter, and her kids came to my story time for Mommy What Her Feelings books, and she is hailing from, let's see if I get it right. It's either Illinois or Indiana, and I get it wrong every time. It starts with an I. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for my taste buds.
Good one. I'm grateful for my view of the ocean of abundance and the diversity rainbow colored lifeguard station, which was rebuilt and repainted after it was torched a couple of years ago. Yeah. And last one. This is number 7.
For water pressure in my shower.
Yeah, good one. And it is Indiana. I am grateful for, oh, I know. This is what I was going to tell you, Sam, but I didn't want to tell you before the gratitude exercise. Huh?
So don't spoil it.
I know. No, I'm going to tell you now. So I am grateful that my TikTok channel, believe it or not, has a, I put this one video up of a sea lion that I saw on the beach, and it was pregnant, and the, not animal control, but the other one, the sanctuary, came and moved her to a safer place. And that, guess how many views? Now, I'll give you a framework. I've had this TikTok channel, Don't Tell My Daughters, for about a year. And I think the highest one I've gotten is like 2,000 something for my dog videos, cute dog videos. So how many do you think it got? Just guess. Yeah, my highest one is 1,254 of my dog. And my TikTok is Dr. Marissa Happy 88. But guess how many the sea lion had? Sam?
Yeah.
Did you guess?
No.
Just guess.
Okay, what am I guessing?
The number of views of the sea lion video.
Oh my God, that's a lot. Dr. Marissa.
Did you look?
No, I didn't, but I can tell it's a lot.
94,500.
94,000, Jesus.
And I thought, well, I'm not getting any kind of financial love for this. So I put it on my YouTube, but I didn't think anything was going to happen. I put it up last night because on my Facebook reel, it only got maybe 100. Guess how many overnight on YouTube?
I'm guessing over 10,000.
Oh no, not that big yet. But but it is just overnight. 3.9 thousand views.
That is a lot.
In 21 hours.
Less than 24.
Isn't that great? Oh, D. Knoll guessed 50,000. You were very close. Yeah, but the other one was bigger. So it's so weird how you can put something somewhere. I guess it's totally the audience and what they're into, but the plethora of comments, and we'll talk about that in the intolerance segment. All right, so now the bottom of the bun. Those of you who know what I'm about to ask, it's before you go to bed, I want 8 things that you appreciate about yourself. And since Sam is participating, I'm going to just do 4 each. Actually, Dino, you can play on this too. So I'll flash yours up, and then when we get to 8. So what do you appreciate about yourself? Go ahead, Sam.
I appreciate about myself that I'm willing to stick to my word.
Man of his word. I appreciate that I've learned how to be kind to myself.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to piggyback off that. I appreciate that I'm nice to other people.
Very nice. And let me go back and retract that and say 88% of the time. I still beat myself up, but way less than I used to. So 88% of the time, I know how to be kind. And I will say that I appreciate that I know how to laugh at myself.
I appreciate that I understand that I am nothing more than just human.
I appreciate that I am humankind, emphasis on the kind, 88% of the time. Last one.
What's the other 12 out?
The 12 is I can be a biatch.
Okay, I ain't gonna dump my mouth. I appreciate that. I appreciate that I have a vision. I have a dream.
Beautiful. And we got the last one here from D. Knoll. She appreciates that she appreciates herself, and she knows how to find good music and dance off the stress. Fabulous. Yay! Where's the applause? Yes. I hope you enjoyed breakfast as much as I did. The gratitude sandwich is free to anyone who wants to take a bite in the morning. I hope that you have taken this exercise and run with it, because I promise you, if you have a bite, if you have gratitude sandwich for breakfast and at night, your appreciation, you will have a new outlook on life that's better than the one you had before. So even though Sam does it only once a week, I know that it's already something that he likes to do.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, and we're going to go right into the question of the day. We have 2 today. They are from my listeners and supporters. So one of them is an interesting one. I don't think I've ever been asked this question before, which is, why do people get irritated at little things? And I think he was asking this because he told me right before that he hasn't had a relationship in 5 years. So either people are irritated with him or he is irritated with other people. And it is a very good question, because I know that my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, talks about people's willingness to lead with a pet peeve. Like they wake up in the morning and it doesn't take, they can be in a good mood, they can have a bite of the gratitude sandwich, and then they walk out the door and there's an instant irritation. Elevator takes too long, the person in front of them is going too slow, someone cuts them off, they get an irritating phone call, things that I don't want to should on anybody, but it should not, you would think that it wouldn't take you down. How's that? You would think that you've done enough work on having a positive, good, healthy, emotionally, mentally healthy. It should not take you down, but it seems really interesting. And all you have to do is look at social media. It's how many negative comments are there versus positive comments? I've yet to see, unless you have a plethora of friends who think exactly like you do, why is it that it's so easy to both comment negatively or to say something negative or to give that look? What is it about irritation? What is it about intolerance that is such a human condition? And if you never thought about it before, all you need to do, social media, I think, has brought that out in us even more. So certainly negative things make us more irritable. That's like not rocket science. And going through the pandemic has definitely brought our tolerance level down, because we are already feeling threatened. We feel lost. We feel anxious. We're worried. We're sad. We're depressed. All of those things are like an open door for irritation and intolerance. It's like, come on in, because we're feeling that way. And, I'm not a clinical psychologist, even though I have a master's in that. I'm an organizational psychologist. But I will borrow from one of the psychological phenomena, which is if you are feeling out of control, if a person feels out of control, then they are even more likely to try to control things like immediately around them. So that's one possible reason, is that you can't control the loss that happened during the pandemic, but you might be able to control the people around you who are irritating you. Now, you may not be able to shut them up, or, but you can flip them off if you're driving. That's something under your control. Or you can walk away, from someone who's irritating you. You can unfriend. You can just, talk to the hand, or insult them, or make a negative comment very quickly on social media. So those are things that you can control. So that is, possibly one of the reasons. I went and Googled this, and I found that there was a really good article on, let's see, where is it now? I'll find it. But let me go ahead and just say, the question that they asked is, do you tolerate intolerance? But Jamie Baum says, you are not tolerant if you cannot tolerate intolerance. So if you think that you are a tolerant person, right? But if you can't stand people who are intolerant, then it's very possible that you yourself are intolerant. I thought that was hilarious because, people who judge are judgers, but they think that they're not because they're pointing out how other people are judging. So just saying. Now, there's a questionnaire to ask you if you actually are intolerant or tolerant. So are you ready to play this game? I know D. Noel is. Sam, you can play along as well. I would say, Sam, that I would think that you are a tolerant person. I would say, D. Noel, you as well, that I would guess you're a tolerant person just by how I know you. People think I'm a tolerant person. Maybe my kids don't, but the average person does say that I'm a very tolerant person. But let's take this quiz together to really see if we are a tolerant person. You ready? Ready. All right. Do you immediately say no to outside strange ideas and even end up looking down on them?
No.
I would say no. That's me. No. All right, Dino. Okay. I'm guessing it's no. Are you a person who gets annoyed when people with different opinions seem to have more opportunities to express them?
No.
Okay. Dino, I'm going to say yes for me.
Really?
Yeah. When I get annoyed when I'm in a group of people and that one person gets all the airtime and they don't let other people chime in. They just keep insisting their opposing viewpoint and suck the life out of that group. And that annoys the living bejeebies out of me. So I would have to say yes. So Dino said no, Sam said no. So far, they are more tolerant than I am. Do you think everyone should think the same way as you? Now, before you answer that question, though, here's the caveat question. Do you try at all to convince people to adopt your way of thinking at all? Like, are there anything that you want, positive, negative, right or wrong, if you at any time try to convince people to think like you, do you, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So then that puts you in the intolerant category because you don't allow people to think the way they do.
Well, it's not that per se. I just think people should have an open mind, and I think I should hear them out. They should hear me out, but not forcibly.
Okay. But do you see my bigger point? If we are truly tolerant, then we have to let people be closed-minded.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not tolerant in that sense.
Exactly, which is why I made the point that I did, because I have to say no, too. When I see people purposely choosing unhappiness, I want to change their mind, right? But who says that that is the best for them? It's a tough one. Can we tolerate people who are racist? Can we tolerate people who are misogynists? Can we tolerate people who do bad things? But who says? Yeah, I know, right?
Right? Dinol is participating in this as well. I mean, it is really one of those. It's one that I grapple with, because who really is the person to say this is completely right and completely wrong? Like right now, we're grappling with this new generation. Polyamorism is okay. Now, I didn't grow up with that, but can I be tolerant and allow people to live their lives that way if they want to? Right? The same thing around what we're going through with abortion. Can I allow people who don't agree with my right to decisions about a woman's body? Can I allow them and understand that they come from a place that is just as strong as mine based on their BS belief systems? So do I have to hate them for that? Do I have to say that they're wrong for that? And yeah, it's just, but there are people who, yesterday when I had TM Garrett on, his point was, whatever we believe, we cannot get to a place where we have peace if we are so intolerant and hateful about the other person's belief system. And if a person has walked 10 miles into a forest with their belief, so that point being, they didn't just switch on a light switch and believe that way. Like things happen in their lives, or things happened, all that. People didn't get to January 6th Capitol Hill like overnight. They had a collection of BS belief systems that became validated in their own minds that got them there. Does that mean that I feel good about what they did? No. But does that mean that I am so intolerant that I cannot listen to how they got there in order to understand? And do I have the right or the desire to change them if they don't want to change? Yeah, these are rhetorical questions. Your reaction?
It's debatable.
Yeah, but it's something to think about, right? And why I'm thinking about it, because that's what I do. That's what this show's about, is I'm allowed to bring things up, put the moose on the table, in other words, which is my Canadian version of the elephant in the room, and talk about things that are a little bit uncomfortable, not to stay stuck in the problem, but in order to free ourselves to be inspired with solution. And so that is why I'm bringing this up. And I did find another thing on why we may be more intolerant and more irritable right now. And that also speaks to one of the Happy 88 tools, cutting ourselves some break. So many factors can cause or contribute to irritability, including life stress. And we've all had a huge life stress called the pandemic. Every single one of the 7.3 billion of us on the planet have had that life stressor. And I don't think it is a good idea to just say, okay, now we have to get over it and go back. And so I'm allowing this show, today's episode, to be a place where we can grapple with how to heal from, or the recovery of. I'll just put on here. You don't have to agree, but you have a choice to listen. Sometimes speaking might change someone, but don't expect it. Absolutely. That's what TM was saying yesterday. All right. Life stress, lack of sleep. How many people are not sleeping? I addressed this on Tuesday. Remember, Sam? How do we get more sleep, right? This is something that everyone who is worried is grappling with. low blood sugar levels, and hormonal changes. That's actually a funny one. So menopause, that once a month thing for women, I call menopause, is certainly a time where we're traditionally seen as irritable and discontent and intolerant. And I don't think it's fair just to say that it happens to women. I think it happens to men too. I call it the IMS, irritable man syndrome. So, Sam, do you ever have IMS? Yeah, you wake up in the morning and there really is nothing to be mad or angry or irritable about, but you just feel that way.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So what is the Happy 88 tool on irritability and intolerance? If you are, there's nothing to feel bad about. I think it is part of our human condition. However, we can, if we get up and feel that way, we don't have to stay in it. That's almost always been my solution around feelings. Feel your feelings, but if they're not feel good feelings, and when you're irritable and intolerant, do you feel good, Sam? I don't feel good. I don't think Dee Knoll feels good when she is angry and intolerant and irritable. So here's the challenge. Can you choose a better feeling thought in 16 seconds? Can you feel a better feeling in 16 seconds? And why 16 seconds? I'm a student of the law of attraction, Abraham Hicks, that says that if you don't get off of that feeling in 16 seconds, then the law of attraction will bring something else to keep you in that feeling. And I do not want that to happen. So the practice here, the hashtag Blisscipline here, is to move off of that feeling. So I have an automatic Blisscipline timer that if I get cut off, you know, I don't give the finger, but I do give read between the lines. If you're watching, you can see this. I'm not proud of it, but it's my way of releasing that. And then I start counting 16, 15, 14. And then, you know, I don't want to get in trouble because people are carrying guns these days as they're driving. So I usually hide those fingers, but I get it out and I go, ugh! If I look like you, I'd be miserable too. And I can't believe you did that. But I don't stay in that. Same thing with people when they irritate me. I get irritated. I try not to show it on my face and say, sorry, I got to take this call, or sorry, I have a meeting right now, or sorry, can I get back to you with that? And it is really a practice. And if you want to you can't eliminate intolerance and irritability, but you can train yourself, your mind, to move off of it so that you just feel better. Does that make sense? Yeah. So for my person that I'm not going to name who gave me this question, I know is going to listen to it after. If you are the one who's being intolerant, and you are intolerant of people who are intolerant, and that's why you're not allowing yourself to have a romantic relationship, then I would suggest that you practice that 16-second rule, and also remember that we're intolerant. So even though most of the questions we answered were no's, that everyone has a level of intolerance. And the key is not to eliminate intolerance, but to cut yourself some slack, allow yourself to be intolerant for a little bit, and then move off of it because you choose to have a better feeling thought. All right. So that's the answer to the first question of the day. We're going to go on break and come back and answer the second question of the day, which is how can we recover from the losses that we've all had and suffered from the pandemic. That's when we come back here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. You wake up in the morning worried right off the bat. Are you known as a worry wart? Hi, I'm Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah and the celebrity host producer of the morning show at 8 a.m. every weekday morning. Take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. And I'm here with your mental health minute this morning to try to make you feel better first thing in the morning. And worry is not a paying job. In fact, there's a Native American saying that says, worry is like a prayer for bad things to happen. So if you are a worry wart, I have 2 words for you. Stop it. I know it's not that easy, and it's probably a habit by now. And no thanks to the pandemic, even those people who were not worry warts are now waking up worried. But I'm here to tell you that worry is not good for your health. So in the words of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, I want you to remember this saying: if there's a problem and there's a solution, there's nothing to worry about. And if there's a problem and no solution, there's still nothing to worry about. Hope that helps. This is Dr. Marissa with your Mental Health Minute.
Welcome to Balanced Tai Chi Gong. My name is Dr. Marissa Pei. For the next 28 minutes, we will be slow dancing with the universe in a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. Just follow the sound of my voice and move with me as I guide you through this ancient wisdom through New Thought practice. As a corporate psychologist, I created this practice in response to my life and those of my clients. We were professional, high achievement-oriented, multitasking control freaks and exhausted. No matter how many successes, it was never enough. That, coupled with a painful life experience, led me on a quest to find another way to live and back to my Chinese roots. If you practice regularly, I can promise you that it will impact all health vortexes, body, mind, spirit, soul. You will be in a place of balance and inner peace the way we were created. 谢谢. Be my partner, dance.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and my iTunes. Oh, sorry. That it is on iTunes too, but my YouTube channel where you can watch and listen and interact as we've been doing today. And I'm so grateful that this is my 9th year on the air, and I'm so happy that we can chat and also change out my hashtag Asian Oprah giveaway from those tickets that for a postponed show. And what I wanted to give you is a download of the practice called balanced Tai Chi Gong, also known as Chinese yoga. And that is one of the tools also for stress management is the moving meditation that promotes inner peace one breath at a time. I teach it here on the beach every last Saturday. So if you're anywhere near to Long Beach, go sign up at drmarissa.life. So that is a gift to the first person who goes to drmarissa.life, and in the subject line, say stress, and you will get that download. All right, and we are back. I thought of one more Happy 88 tool on how to get over irritability, and it's INTBOAD. It's part of my alphabet soup Happy 88 tools. It stands for It's Not That Big of a Deal. Okay, INTBOD. It's not that big of a deal. And that usually can take me down a notch when I feel irritated at something kind of silly. So INTBOD. All right, now moving to how do we move forward feeling better mentally, emotionally, about all the losses that have happened during the pandemic. If you're a person who has not felt, and it's just like, I don't want to think about it, it happened, can't change it, let's move on. The thing about humanity and human and emotions, what you do not deal with will deal with you. It just happens. That's what I do in my coaching with the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma. We think that we can't change it, so we don't want to deal with it, but it will come and deal with you because that's just the way life works. When we repress or press down things that hurt us, they will bubble up to the surface. So I absolutely recommend that you spend some time actually feeling the losses that you have experienced. Now, the reason why you want to deal with it, but the other extreme that some people do is they marinate in it and they wallow in it and they wake up every morning thinking about all the things that they've lost, and they get in that place where they cannot get out of the negative, horrific, debilitating, depressing place. So those two extremes do not work. And that's why I'm all about balance. I want you to be able to come to that place where you feel the losses and then get to a place where you can accept them and move on. And so, yes, if you're thinking about where I'm going, and you know about Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of death and dying, it's a psychological model that says that most people, when they're going through death or they're dying, or in this sense, a loss, a huge loss that especially, well, not especially, everybody went through a loss. Okay, I will say small businesses, are the ones, if you're a small business owner, I would absolutely suggest that you go through this. You can go through this with me now. We don't have time to go far, but I wanted to touch on each of the stages because it's important for us to do it. If you want to work through that with me, you're welcome to drmarissa.life. It's not a long process, but I would say, at least 8 sessions of dealing with this is going to allow you to get to the place that I want you to, which is choosing happiness 88% of the time, even when there has been a pandemic. So let's go to, where is it? I had it here and now I can't find it. Okay, so let's just find this. The first stage of death and dying is, I believe it's anger. Okay, so okay, this is 5 stages of death and dying. The first one is I'm not picking the right thing here. I had it down. Okay, I'm getting irritated at myself. I had it open and now it's not. Here we go. Denial. Anger second. See, I'm in denial. Denial, it's not, that's the one I told you before where you're like, it's not that I'm not going to deal with it. I can't change it. It's not really happening. It didn't happen. It's not. And that is, or when we were at the beginning of the pandemic, I went through it. We're really not going through this. This is, somebody's making a huge deal out of something that isn't really a big deal. In fact, when Anson Williams, Potsy was at my studio, we were, given a commercial on this. So definitely one of the stages. Then anger, why is this happening to me? It's not fair. It shouldn't have happened. Who's getting punished? Why, are we getting punished for this? Bargaining, if I agree that, this is happening, then I promise I will never do this, or this. Depression, which a lot of people are in right now because the weight of the losses of the pandemic are hitting. And my job is to help you get into acceptance. So how do you move from depression and all the things that we've lost, money that we've lost, opportunities that we've lost, graduations that we lost, relationships that we've lost. There's a lot of people who got to know each other during the pandemic and realized they didn't like each other. And many, I don't know what the statistic is, but if you Google it, there's quite a few numbers in suicides, drug overdose, addiction. All of those have come up. That's depression. So how do we move from depression to acceptance? First is recognizing that you can choose. Choice and what you think about are up to you. And if you are constantly waking up and thinking about all of those things that you lost all the time, and you cannot get past that, you will not get to acceptance. So I will say I lost a plethora of motivational speaking gigs. I lost money because of that, lots of money. I lost some relationships because I just couldn't deal. I lost my ability to, do some of the business that I was doing. I lost clients. I lost all kinds of money-related things. Now, if every day I just focused on not the loss necessarily, but saying I have to make that money up. If I say I have to make that money up every single day, I will never feel good about what has happened because I'm always going to be behind. I could have had this and I didn't. That thought, that BS, that belief system does not help me find ways in which to be creative, in which to be in the solution, in which to be the person that I am, which is naturally feeling good. If I continue to focus on the loss, which did happen, but I don't have to focus on it. I don't have to catch up from it. Everybody lost. So instead of thinking that we're behind, I'm just going to start right here where I am. And you can too. Don't focus on the loss. Focus on, we're here right now. We're starting over. We can start over right now. So we're not thinking about all that's lost. That's number one. Number two is when I am thinking about making money. Money is an energy, right? It's not all about the money, but it is about the money. So I'm the same person who made the money that I used to make, right? I haven't changed fundamentally. And if you are able to, if you've held a job, if you've had a career, if you made money doing something, even if that job is gone, you still have the ability to make money energy in that way or another way. I think one of the fantastic hashtag COVID silver lining and opportunities, if you haven't read my article, COVID Opportunity of a Lifetime, that was published on Medium, please go read that. People are still reading it and messaging me and thanking me because they were able to use those principles to turn the corner so that they're doing something they loved, they never thought about doing, but are doing now, and they love doing it. I think it's wonderful that people are recognizing that they don't have to travel 2 hours to get to a job. I think it's wonderful that companies are looking at hybrid versions so you can spend more time with your family, which is one of the things that we were not doing. Hashtag BC19, the time before COVID. So if you can just knock those two things and start there. So not focusing on catching up in the loss and just saying we're starting right now. And two, remembering you're that same person. And I ask my clients every day to do Google Play. Google Play is not shopping, but sitting in front of your computer for, start with 8 minutes and just take that breath, that 3-breath technology. Don't have time to do it now. You know what I'm talking about. And then just put in keywords that come up. And it's amazing the things that can come into your awareness as you're creative, as you're open to solution that you can do. And that, my friends, is the answer to how do I recover from the loss in the pandemic. I hope you've enjoyed today's question, caller question, compliments and commercials. I'll end with happy birthday, dear Kathy. Happy birthday to you. She's having a birthday tomorrow, Kathy O'Barrow. This is Dr. Marissa wishing you the best day ever. Come tomorrow for a Lon Carter Price. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Dr. Marissa reporting live. Have the